Man, horror movies for 2025 was looking a little shaky, but then Ryan Coogler blessed us with Sinners.
I like it spooky.
Hey, what's up, horrorheads? This is Bobby Torres. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I put up a new video, but I'm not saying I'm in retirement or anything, because far from it, but I had to show some love back to my channel in dedication to this wonderful movie that we got this year so far called Sinners. And if you've been hiding underneath a rock and you don't know anything about this movie, please watch the trailer, please do your research, and please look at all the reviews and all that stuff. Spoiler free, of course, if you haven't checked it out yet. But I'm just going to get into it. This movie, this was definitely one of my most anticipated movies of 2025, for sure, 100%. Ryan Coogler gave us everything we needed with all the movies that he has done. All the Creed movies, both the Black Panther movies, Fruitvale Station, which was his first feature. And now, he got an original piece here and an original horror piece. And he delivered. Again, just believe the hype. Just believe the hype. It's really rare where I'll go into a movie and I'm listening to movie critics and things like that, because everybody's taste is a little different. And I'm sure your taste will still be different with this movie here. Everybody's subjective to their own opinion. But I will say, give this movie a chance. Believe the hype with how good it is, And even if you don't think it's good after watching this movie, I'm sure there's something in this film that you would enjoy or possibly like. Whether if it's the performances, the cinematography, the music, oh God, the music. What Ryan Coogler did with this movie was just amazing. The last time I felt this way about a film, honestly, was his last film, Black Panther. As far as movie theater experience, like we go to the movies all the time and, we see all different types of movies. But the last time I felt like emotion, liberated, inspired, and feels was Black Panther, the original Black Panther, the movie that he did. I would throw Halloween Kills in that mix, but I had some issues when I was watching that movie for the first time. But other than that, like, that movie's fucking amazing to me. Halloween Kills stand account here. Yeah. But this movie gave me everything I needed. People was talking about that scene, which, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen that movie, that scene, I'm sure all of us folks was levitating in the movie theater. I know I was, especially seeing it in IMAX. But please go watch this movie. A lot of people say that this movie is more I'm not even gonna say critics, but there's certain people out there in social media land saying that this is a ripoff of From Dusk Till Dawn, and it's definitely not. Nothing like it. Now, Ryan Coogler said he did get some inspiration from that movie, but he got inspiration from a lot of things, and there is some similarity there. But outside of those themes that people's comparing it to, nothing like it. Nothing like it at all. So people want to make that argument. I can sit there and argue all day, if you know me, and I'm sure from today going forward, it's going to be that argument all the time, and it's going to people try to stand on business, and it is what it is. Just know you're wrong. So this movie's about two twin brothers who's back in town smoking stack, and they're pretty problematic. People kind of fear them, and they're back in town with a lot of money. They're trying to build their own juke joint. They're making deals with this white dude, and just to let you guys know too, this is in the 1930s, so racism was still alive and doing the most. And we're dealing with a lot of that in this movie here, but it's not like a huge, like, it's not really in the way, if you know what I mean, when it's getting to the plot of the movie. Like, there's so much things happening in here where, racism is a thing, and it does play a part in the film, but it's not in a distracting way or in a distasteful way. These two brothers are trying to build a juke joint, so they're sitting there gathering all the people that they know, all their friends, and while they're doing this juke joint, and they have everybody, having fun and having a good time. Everybody's enjoying themselves. Vampires come into the mist, and kind of just wreak havoc there. And that's all I'm really say. It's so much more to that though. There's so much more going on. The characters is just amazing. They feel like your friends, and that might sound weird, but movie that's how you know when a movie is good, when you're so invested in the characters and the writing is doing a good job telling that character's story, and you're so invested in it, so that way when the movie as the movie goes on and later on when the stakes are high and something happens to them, you kind of feel bad or you feel emotion if something bad happens to that character or even if something good happens to that character. So that's what this movie does here. You're seeing, Delroy Lindo, who plays Delta Slim, who's one of my favorites in here. He's so funny. Miles Caton, which I will get to in a minute. Obviously, Michael B. Jordan, two characters. Wumi Masaku, who plays Annie. Haley Steinfeld, who plays Mary. Like, you have so many people in this movie who just does such a fucking good job. And when things hit the fan at the end of this movie, you just like, I'm feeling for these characters. I don't want them to die, or if they're in a fight, you're cheering for them, or whatever it is. I just think everybody involved did such a good job, and it's really rare where we get movies like that, And this is what I call cinema because you have character development, characters that you care about. The storytelling is amazing. The cinematography, like, come on, this film was filmed on IMAX. Ryan Coogler made sure to tell everybody to make sure you go watch this film in IMAX because it's that important. And he's fucking right. When you watch this film in IMAX, the sound is much bigger. The picture, like you go from like almost like a letterbox screen into the whole thing, the whole screen filling up. And you just see so much more. It broadens the atmosphere within the movie, which I personally love. And again, including the sound. So when we got to certain moments with that IMAX, man, I feel like I can't see this movie any other way. There's so much that goes into it, like all those things I just named. By the time we get to the end, the message in this film is beautiful. I got so emotional throughout this movie. And again, it's rare, at least for me, where I can sit at a movie and get emotions, coming out of me based off of what is happening on the screen. It's been a long time since I felt that way. And like I said, Halloween Kills was more like a excitement thing. Black Panther was a mixture of all, characters, excitement, music. It just everything just hit me, and that's what I got from this film here. Now, I'm going to say that scene that everybody's talking about, yes, levitating. It felt like it's like an outer body experience, at least for me. It's so fucking beautiful how they filmed this. Shout out to Ludwig Göransson. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Sorry if I butchered it, but he's been working with Ryan Coogler for a very long time, as far as being composer, doing the music, and the music in this, man, just fits it so well. Like, it fits this movie so perfectly. The vibes of it just so good. And Miles Caton, when we get to that scene, mixed up with Ludwig's music and Miles' music and his voice, because this is a young guy, but his voice is so mature and so rich and so deep. It's this movie is heavy on the blues music, centered around that. So that scene when we get there and we just see everybody having a great time dancing, just seeing beautiful melanated people just living their lives, having conversations, just living the life. And then we see Miles coming down. He's playing the character Sammy, and he's singing, and then a scene transition to so much going on, but in a good way, where we see different generations of music created by us, and how music that we created changed throughout the years. And we get to a certain part, and this song that Sammy is singing is called I Lied. And I believe it's called I Lied. And it's on the soundtrack. And again, fucking killed it. And he gets to a part where he screams, and the camera pans up, everything's on fire, and then we get this beautiful artsy just scene, this from the vampire remix view of all this stuff going on. And shout out to the actor who plays Remick, the antagonist in this film. Amazing job. Jack O'Connell, that's his name. Scary as motherfucker who's playing this vampire. He did so good. And Ryan's take on these vampires is just, it's very familiar, but also different at the same time. But all I'm going to say is, guys, please watch this movie. This is just me. This is not necessarily a review, but just more so my thoughts and spoiler-free thoughts on the movie. I have so much more to say about this, but I just suggest that everybody go out and watch Sinners. Even if it's not an IMAX, still check it out. But if you can go ahead and see it in IMAX, even better. But this movie is definitely worth it. It's going to be up there as far as the classics. Again, Ryan Coogler and the cast just did such an amazing job. I'm definitely playing the soundtrack back to back because, I mean, in my feels, I'm watching this multiple times. And 5 out of 5, a hard hit fucking watch. A hard hit watch. Haven't seen that in a long time. But yeah, a 5 out of 5. And usually my opinions on movies change throughout time and how many times I see it. But I don't think this is going to change anytime soon. Probably not at all. Because again, I'm still getting goosebumps. I'm still getting those feels after talking about it and listening to the soundtrack. And I'm going to see it again. But I highly suggest that you go see this movie here. And let me know your thoughts in the comments if you already did. And if you didn't, let me know when you're going to see it. And check out Scream Kings. We're going to be talking about the movie, spoilers though, on Wednesday, Screen Kings and Screen Queens. We also talked about it on my podcast with Michael Anthony, People Under the Scares. So you got more of my thoughts there. But I just want to come here on this platform here, my baby Bobby Likes It Spooky, to talk about how much I love Sinners and how much you guys should go see this movie. And I want to get y'all thoughts and opinions too. And I also miss y'all. So more videos to come when I have the time, of course. But I just want to throw this out there. But thanks again, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that fun stuff that YouTube is doing. Share this video if you can. And I'll see y'all in the next video or wherever you might find me, podcast, YouTube, whatever. Peace out.